When I watched Only Yesterday, I was not only moved emotionally, but technically as well. Nothing felt like it should have been omitted, and every moment of its runtime coursed through my brain meaningfully. Within my definition of the word, it was a masterpiece. Now, Outlaw, if Only Yesterday is somehow a masterpiece, why is it not in your favorites list? Why is it not proudly displayed on thine mystical power scale? I firmly believe that within the 10 scale, it creates different levels of a 10. To fully explain why, let us define masterpiece, a 10, and what lies under it, great, a 9. To rate something as great, it certainly moved me, and it was close to being a masterpiece, but there were a few aspects that bugged me. Works that exist with foreseeable flaws in my eyes are lesser. And then we're on to the 10, the monolithic miracle works that exist to be remembered and quoted endlessly. Scenes stand out in my mind and continue to affect me years after my initial watch. Tears elicit from my eyes upon remembering the circumstance in which I consumed this piece. And no matter how hard I look, I cannot find flaws. No minute of the film bothers me as a viewer. The levels of this idea can vary, despite it being straightforward. Grave of Fireflies stands as my favorite film of all time, cementing Isao Takahata as my favorite director. Every moment is god tier. It is on a level so high, so vastly above other art, that to truly do it justice, it requires a scale of its own. But I'm not using the Grave scale, I'm using Mal's scale. You see, films like Only Yesterday, while having no flaws and certainly had given me a lot of emotions, the impact was not on a high enough level to make it a true favorite, but it was still a masterpiece by my definition. So where the real division line is drawn is from favorites and from normal masterpieces. While they both exist as tens, one is simply on a higher echelon than the other. And these are the distinctions an insane person who loves too much media has to make. Really, the main takeaway from this should be how silly scores are. They're so subjective and needing of explanations that no one person can ever agree or understand. I've ranted and raved elsewhere about how flawed scores are, but nowhere is this more apparent than in how I use them.